What motivates our behavior? Why do we do what we do? Well, it's always interesting to figure that out for ourselves. And often, even though when we think we know ourselves really well, we might have found ourselves going, why did I do that? I know I sometimes do that. And even more often, looking at other people going, why did they do that? And so the Enneagram is the one of the best ways of understanding that. My name is Linda Frazee, and I have been working with individuals, companies, and all kinds of organizations as a professional speaker, as a consultant, and as a coach for 35 years. One of the best tools I've ever found to work with people is called the Enneagram. And that's a personality system that describes 9 types of being as far as different types on the Enneagram, styles of approaching life. And furthermore, you have 4 other points that are resource points that you bring in and as you get to know yourself. And it sometimes can seem complicated. It is not a simple tool. And I don't believe in Enneagram tests. I believe in people finding themselves by reading paragraphs and doing their own inner search. Because you see, you're the leading expert about who you are. And why would you want to learn the system? Well, number one, it teaches you self-compassion. It gives you compassion for others who you look at and wonder what their motive is. And it also helps reduce conflict and improve communication. It's really essential when it comes to relationships of all kinds, be that at work or at home. So one of the base principles of the Enneagram is, how do you get to be a type? Well, you get to be a type by what we believe now is research has shown, not all research, but a fair amount of research, that there is a genetic predisposition at birth. Any of you who have had 2 or more children could tell the difference very often, just as babies in a crib, about the different approach that they have to life. Some babies are more needy. Some babies are like, leave me alone. I just want to, don't pick me up. Just let me rest here. Others are smiling and gooing and cooing at you right away. And others are looking away. There's hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of behavioral things that have been in studies that have been watched and monitored to determine the temperament of babies. In fact, there was a study many years ago, and then these little babies were followed for 50 years, and they were found to have that same temperament 50 years later. So, and it just happens that those temperaments follow the same kind of types of the Enneagram, and the Enneagram wasn't even in the United States at that point. So there's lots of correlation. Today I have here with me 2 people who are twins, raised in the same family, and they have different types. Now, I have watched their types because I'm their aunt, and I've seen them since they were born. And I could tell that they were different from the beginning, but I didn't know the Enneagram in those days. And so I didn't know why, but it was always a fascination to me. So I have them here today for them just to tell us a little bit about what types they are and how that was a difference for them in their family of origin and their life work. So we have Janine here. So Janine, would you just kind of wave at people so they know who you are? Thank you. Janine is an art teacher in Salida, Colorado, and tell them what type you identify with and how that has shown up throughout your life.
Well, I identify with being a 4, and I definitely can be moody, and I am very connected to my emotions, and I'm not afraid to express that when I'm feeling a certain way. And I'm also, I teach the visual arts because I love being creative, and I also love doing my own artwork. And then through my artwork, there's a aspect of it for me that's about beauty and visual beauty and my house. And since I was a kid, I just remember my bedroom when I had control of my own space and I finally didn't have to share a bedroom anymore. I was very particular about how things looked and how pretty they were, and it was maybe my own space for feeling comfortable in, and it continues like that today.
Right. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's all some very, very specific things before. And here is her twin sister, Renee. So Renee, tell us what type you identify with and how that's shown up for you throughout your life.
I identify with a 7. And when you read through it all, and when I was reading through it all, the way it's kind of manifested and shown up in my life is adventure. I love adventure. I've spent probably 7, 8 years living out of the country because it's an adventure, and gotten to learn 4 different languages from it. Love opportunities, and it's funny because like I have had multiple careers. I'm on my 4th one right now as a middle school teacher. And I think I'm thinking all middle school teachers might be 7s. So anyway, that's kind of how it's manifested for me.
That's interesting that you mentioned the multiple careers because that is true for 7s. Very often when I do a typing panel, I'll say, so tell me about your career. And they'll go, well, I was down in Alaska as a fisherman, and then I decided I'd go to New York and be a stockbroker. And then I decided really I'd go down and learn this foreign language. And then I had, I started doing a surf shop, and now I'm a ski instructor. It all seems pretty normal to a 7, right? So thank you guys. If you're interested in this, if this has piqued your attention, if you're going, this is interesting, I never thought much about this before, here are some options. Because if you think this is a lot of information and it sounds kind of complicated, it is. It is complicated, and takes us a lot of information. So you can go to my website, lindafrazee.com, and you can learn all about the different Enneagram types by reading and by watching free videos. And you can sign up for my Authentic Wisdom community and have lots of resources, including a longer version of meeting these 2 women that you just heard. And I would love to have you be there. And this will help you. This is one of many resources that will help you stay balanced as we go into the next year of 2021. Thank you.